Hello. Hello, who's there? Are you with the human raiders? Yes. I know that we're surrounded. Please, I'm unarmed. I mean no harm. Here. Just come through the trees. Come look for yourself. I promise. I'm just kneeling next to our koi pond. I don't have any weapons. See? I'm right here. I'm sorry, I cannot look at you, but I promise you, I mean no harm. No, it's not a trap. I would have no way of trapping you. I don't want to fight. Why would I be here of all places if I did? I'm not trained. I can barely hold a bow. I promise I'm of no threat to you. Had I fought, I would be long dead by now. There's nowhere safe to hide anymore. I was not hiding. I've always liked this pond. I'm quite fond of the koi. I didn't expect to escape. I wanted to spend a few last moments with my friends. Yes, the koi are my friends. They have been since I was young. Well, I don't see why it should be so strange. So what if they can't speak? Silence can be wonderful company. You only really make friends in the moments when nobody's talking anyways. Well, yes, the koi taught me that. They're wiser than you might think. Me? No. I'm not wise. The best I can do is parrot them. Lonely, perhaps, but not wise. Honestly, no, I'm not. Everything I've learned has been from the koi. I rarely speak with anybody else, and I'm not anywhere near well-traveled enough to have garnered wisdom of my own. I've known the koi my whole life. They've lived here as long as the elf clans. Probably longer. But it's clear they will outlast us. My family. With all their talk of blood purity, look at where it got them. Our numbers were low long before you ever started raiding. Excuse me, I don't mean to sound bitter. I don't blame you for it. We're a dying empire, and we made a lot of enemies. The writing has very clearly been on the wall for a very long time. The koi, though, they know better. They aren't like us. They will happily accept any help offered to them. Here, watch. See? They don't care that this bread is coming from an outsider. They're just happy to have bread. The one in the back there, he's called Giles. Don't worry, he's not refusing to eat. He's just learned that if he waits, I'll make sure he gets a little extra at the end. I told you they were smart. Still, they know better than to rely on me. That's why they're so wise. They accept help where they can get it, but they never grow to depend on it. Such a philosophy would have likely saved a great many empires. Don't you think? It's why I don't worry about them. They can fend for themselves. I don't need to fret over what will happen to them once I'm gone. Not that I'm in any rush, but speaking of which, why haven't you, well, oh, I know that the Knight's Code forbids you from harming anybody that's unarmed, but I think you would be surprised how few knights seem to follow that code these days. Oh yes, they all say it was for noble causes. But I'm not sure if anybody who had their blood spilt by them would agree. I certainly wouldn't, if you killed me. Well, if that's not your intention, enlighten me. What is? I cannot look at you. Just tell me what you want. There's not much information I can give you, as far as I know. Any wealth we had was pillaged long ago. I only ever left my quarters to come here. Quite honestly, you probably know this land better than I do. Well, it's not as if there was anywhere else to go. You've seen it. Most of the buildings around here are destroyed. I was never one for playing in dangerous runs. The koi pond was always safe. Books. I've never seen a book in my life, much less read one. Oh yes, I was told that we had a grand library once. I'm not sure whether that's true or simply another lie meant to stroke elven pride. Either way, it would have been destroyed a long time ago. No, I can't read, much like I've never learned to hold a bow. I was never inclined towards it. Nobody ever had the time or resources to bother. Well, except for the koi. They have all the time in the world. Although I'm pretty sure they can't read either. Not that they need to. They can pass down all their stories through silence. It's another craft we still haven't mastered. Suppose that's why we need books in the first place. I guess the two are quite similar. Books only tell their stories to those willing to devote the time to read them. And the koi tell their stories only to those willing to take the time to listen. Of course, listening isn't the same as hearing. Plenty of people visit this pond, but they never listened. Heard, maybe, but anybody can hear. But listening requires you to want to understand. The koi know the difference. They would never demand to be heard. They'll only tell you something if you really want to understand it. I'm sorry. I'm rambling by this point. If I'm being honest, it's just nice to be able to finally speak. That's the one drawback to all of your friends being wiser than you. You never really get the opportunity to explain things. No, not that you aren't wise. I didn't mean that. I assume you are, at least. Although we've only just met. At the very least, you seem to be more well-traveled than myself. I don't assume you're from anywhere around here. I've always imagined I would be able to tell somebody about the koi. I've thought about it for a long time. When I was lonely, I would replay the conversation again and again. I would keep it in my mind for company. Although, I'm not sure it was supposed to go exactly like this. In my imagination, you were an elf. You had come for dinner, not a raiding knight who might have killed me. No, I know you said you wouldn't, but this isn't my first raid. You can't blame me for not trusting you, especially when I can't even give you what you ask. No, I cannot look at you. Please stop insisting. I can't. It's not about trust. It's not about anything like that. I just can't. You don't understand. It's not that I'm afraid to look at you. It's not even that I don't want to look at you. I physically cannot look at you. No, it's not any kind of physical problem. Well, none other than the fact that I was born into a particularly jealous family. You see, many years ago, my sister, she started keeping the company of a dwarven trade merchant. This was back before the Blood Wars, long ago, when interracial trading was common. She became so taken with him. She followed him back to dwarven lands, and that was the last we ever saw of her. Oh, my parents were furious. Their eldest had run away with an outsider, and they wanted to ensure that it never happened again. They ordered an enchantress to place a spell on the rest of us. I don't know the specifics. I don't know exactly what they asked her to do, but the results were horrific. I can no longer look at anyone. I can't see their face. Can't look them in the eye. My head will turn away any time I try, and no amount of force will make it turn back. I don't know what sort of magic it was. Strong is the best inkling I've got. I was too young to question it at the time. I suppose I never thought it was permanent. Not until the years kept dragging on. All I know is that the spell is binding. Completely. To tell you the truth, I can barely remember what faces look like anymore. It's been so long since I've seen one. I think I've forgotten how most emotions must appear by now. Thankfully, at least the koi don't seem to count. As far as I can tell, the spell only applies to humanoid faces. Although that's simply an educated guess. Oh, believe me, if I knew how to break the spell, if I had any leads on how that might possibly be done, I would have done it by now. The enchantress left a long time ago. It's not like I can ask. No, my parents didn't care. They felt I was better off this way. I would never be tempted to leave. And even if I was tempted, really, who would want to spend any time with somebody that can't even look them in the eye? I haven't heard from my parents in ages anyway. Either they left for the far west kingdom or they died defending our lands. The results were the same. Doesn't really matter. They aren't coming back. Those who leave never do. I have no interest in looking for them. Not after being made to suffer under this miserable spell my entire life. And even if I wanted to look for them, it would be a lost cause. I have no idea what they even look like anymore. My memory of their voices is too faint to be reliable. Everybody I care about, they live in this pond. Made sense to stay here. Besides, the road's teeming with robbers. I'm of no use with a crossbow or any other sort of weaponry. Even if I trained, it's a bit hard to shoot when you can't look at the enemy. I can't even look at my own face, you know that? Anytime I get too close to the pond, anytime I catch a glimpse of my own reflection, I'm forced to turn away. I still imagine myself as a young child. Chubby cheeks and a shy grin, because that was the last image I've ever seen of myself. Of course, I know I'm not a child anymore. Well, thank you. Nobody's ever called me beautiful before. The few elves that are still around mostly just ignore me. What use is beauty here, after all? All it does is make you more desirable to raiders. I'm sorry. You've just reminded me of my dream. That I would be able to tell somebody about the koi. You were an elf in that dream, yes, but you still told me I was beautiful. I kind of hoped that you actually would. although I'll never have any way of knowing if you were just being polite or not. I guess I could ask the koi. You're right. But I don't know if they see beauty as something physical the same way we do. I suppose that I ought not see it as something physical either. I'll never know physical beauty except maybe as it occurs in nature, but I don't know if that's quite the same thing. Well, yes, the koi all have different patterns, but if you ask me, none are more pretty than the other. Each pattern perfectly suits its fish. None is any better or any worse. Besides, their real beauty comes from them all swimming together. Their colors mix with such balance and harmony. It's a perfect little song. I get so lost watching them. Here you are. Toss some more bread into the water. You'll see what I mean. Come on. I promise. I won't bite. Go on. See? It's beautiful to see them swim like that. It's just like magic, don't you think? Well, I don't imagine human beauty is anything like this. I'm sorry. I guess that's a pretty difficult question to answer. I just never thought as humanoids as capable of harmony. But to be fair, all I've ever known here is war. Oh yes, I've heard that it's different elsewhere, but it's hard to believe. I can't imagine that kind of truth when I'm surrounded by so much hate. Harmony comes so naturally to the koi. Oh, for us, it's always bitter work. What? You don't think so? Well, what makes you so sure? I don't know if this is even possible. I don't even know what I'm asking, but can you show me? All right. I'll take your hand. But promise you won't hurt me. I'll try my best to trust you. You did the same for me. So I suppose I do owe you that. Although, that would be easier to do if you told me what you were doing. Dancing. There's no music. Do you always dance without music where you're from? Well, it's not as if I have any way of knowing. It could have been possible. I guess it could still be fun without music. Keep in mind, I'll only be able to look at your feet, though. I suppose at the very least it means you are unlikely to be stepped on. Alright. best that you lead. I'm a bit rusty. I never tried dancing with anybody. Not after I stopped being able to look at their faces. Thank you. I appreciate you going slowly. No, this is nice. It's the closest I've been with anybody in a long while. Is this harmony? Show me. I am doing all right, I hope. Good. Can you spin me around like we're coy? Oh, this is amazing. I don't remember having danced like this before. Maybe you're right. Maybe we can have harmony too. Even if it is just little harmonies like that. Thank you. That was beautiful. Yes, as beautiful as the koi. So this is what physical beauty is like. It's like dancing. I apologize. That was unfair again, wasn't it? It's fine if you don't know the answer. I don't know that it's the sort of question that has an answer anyway. Could I maybe ask you for one more favor? Although, be warned, it's a bit odd. Would it be alright if I touched your face? Of course, I will understand if you say no. I haven't seen anybody in so long. If I could feel the way you look, well, it would be almost like seeing it. Does that make any sense? Thank you for understanding. Here, guide my hand, please. I want to make sure I don't poke you in the eye or anything of the sort. Yes, I'm ready. Ah, there's your eyes and your nose. It's good to know they're still where I imagine them to be. And here are your ears. I can tell they're human ears because they're rounded so cutely. And here we go. Your mouth. The corners of it are turned up. Are you smiling? Well, I'm glad this is amusing to you. I suppose it's not every day that a cursed elf has to touch your face. If I'm being honest, I'm enjoying this myself. It's been so long since I've even been able to notice if somebody was grinning at me. No, it feels good to know that I made somebody smile, even if the circumstances are a bit unusual. The koi, they're wonderful, but they can't smile. Part of me wishes you could stay here. Oh, no, I didn't mean that as an actual possibility. Don't look so worried. It's funny to be able to feel that. I know you have duties elsewhere. What will I do? Well, I suppose I'll just stay here till the next raider comes along. Though they likely won't be as nice as you have been. Well, no, there's nothing keeping me here. Not except for the koi, but I can't travel alone, not in these parts. Wait. You're not seriously suggesting that I go with you? I already told you. There's no easy way to break this spell. I don't know if there's truly a way at all. Any such quest would be a fool's errand. I would be nothing but a hindrance to you. You're quite persistent. Alright, I will accompany you on 2 conditions. First, I'm allowed to leave at any time I want. I hardly agree that this is a good plan, but you're right that it's better than staying here and trying to avoid being killed. I can only be lucky for so long. And this feels like it's about as lucky as I'll get. But I'll only come along if I can leave when I find a better plan. Alright. Good. I'm glad that's reasonable. Second, please, at least allow me a few minutes to say goodbye to the koi. I know they'll be alright on their own, but they're the only friends I've ever known. Leaving them it's not easy. Thank you. I'll meet you by the gate in a few moments. You're a good knight, you know that. I wasn't sure such a thing existed. Who knows? Maybe you'll be my first friend who doesn't have gills. I'll meet you in a few moments, and, well, we'll see where the road takes us.